He looks good. He is beefed up. He speaks perfect English.
I took steroids. I took them for 10 years. I want girls, man. I want people to swipe right on me on Tinder. You should do this. You'd be great if you did this.
What's the highest achievement in bodybuilding for you?
Our bodies are not meant to function with a synthetic drug. For me, my vice was cocaine.
What's up, insiders? Today we have a very special guest, the sponsor of so many of my insecurities. He looks good, he is beefed up, he speaks perfect English. This guy is the beast. He's a content creator, the one and only Patrick Carr.
Man, Dimitri, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming. We tried to do it for 3-4 times now. We meet each other in different places. He interviewed me, I think, twice for his podcast. It's the first time I'm doing it. I want to introduce you to my audience. This guy is a content creator. You've been at this game for what, 1 year now?
Just about a year now, a little over that.
It's amazing. The amount of success you have in 1 year. I know so many guys in our community network try to get on YouTube, try to start creating content. We're going to talk about it. What does it take to be successful? I really want to hear your background about your bodybuilding career and how it shaped you, your work ethics and everything else from it. Like, tell me about bodybuilding.
Yeah, so bodybuilding for me started in my mid-20s. I think like a lot of guys in their mid-20s, you're trying to really figure yourself out. And I was selling timeshare at the time. I didn't know who I was.
Have you always lived in Florida?
My father lived in St. Louis, outside of St. Louis, ran liquor and tobacco stores. Mother was in Tampa. After I went to UF, came to Orlando. And I thought, you know what? I really want to date more girls. I want girls, man. I want people to swipe right on me on Tinder. And so I said, hey, what's the best way to do it? Let me get in shape. And so I went to the gym, and it wasn't long before I kind of got involved with the whole bodybuilding world. I thought, if I do this, I'm going to get girls. And I didn't realize.
What was your motivation?
Yeah, it was just completely on the face. There was nothing like, hey, listen, I want a healthier lifestyle or anything like that. I wanted people to notice me. And I went ahead and I started in that whole bodybuilding world, and I did it for...
Do you think that's what drives most guys to exercise, like a competitive level like that? Like bodybuilders, that's like the main driver?
I think it's insecurity. I think that what happens is that some of these guys, especially in that world, they don't feel like they can hang their hat on much. And they're living a life where they don't have a lot of purpose. And so when you get up in the morning, you go to work out, and then you back at night and you work out, it gives your day purpose. And I think that a lot of these guys in the bodybuilding world are searching for that, especially when they start out. They may not even know it, but it keeps them on track.
Wow, that's deep. Did you find what you were looking for?
Not at all. Man, not at all. I thought that it was going to be something I enjoyed, and it was one of those deals where, I guess the best way to put it maybe for the audience would be, you grow up and everyone tells you, you should do this. You'd be great if you did this. Man, you're so talented, you should do this. And you start thinking, okay, I guess I should do this then. And when I was in the gym and I was big and I was strong, people said, go do bodybuilding, you'll love it. And I hated it each and every time a little bit more. And I got up there and finally I just said, this isn't fun for me. I'm not enjoying this at all.
What's the highest achievement in bodybuilding for you?
I came in second at a company called Europa here in Orlando. And it was my second year of bodybuilding. And I can say this, that everybody I ever lost to ended up turning pro, which was always interesting to me. Maybe I was just a little bit off, a little tweak here and there. Maybe my life would have been a little bit different. But bodybuilding was good. It teaches a lot of discipline. It's not a sport where you practice for 2 hours. You're 24 hours a day because of the diet and the food that you have to eat. So I'm happy I did it. It taught me a lot about myself.
Let's talk about work ethic of a bodybuilders or gym rats. I see it's a trend in the roofing industry. There's many guys who come from that culture, Lifetime, many gyms.
I like those guys, yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell when you go in the gym, when someone's working out, people don't change. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what can you tell about a person about how he exercises and how important it is? Do you still exercise?
I exercise every day. The thing I would tell people is this: a healthy person wants a million things in life. A sick person wants one. And so if you want to keep yourself
gold right there.
If you want to keep yourself and your business moving forward, whether you're for a sales rep, a business owner, then you got to keep your body healthy. And if you do that, you'll have the energy to be able to do things. Now, let's go back to your question right there. Yes, it can translate, but also it cannot. I'll give you an example. I see people that are in great shape that come from medical sales a lot in this industry, and they fail in roofing quite a bit, I see, in my opinion. And it's because roofing sales is dining room table. It's a different kind of person. It's door to door. There's something so blue collar about that I love and I can get passionate about. Then you got medical sales. And medical sales is more, okay, I'm gonna go to the hospital, let me meet with the doctor, let's shake hands, we're gonna have a little repertoire, we're gonna do all this, same people all the time. Okay, much different. Both people could work out. Both individuals could care about their body, but you've gotta be ready for what roofing's gonna be. You gotta be ready to get out there on top of a 100-degree roof. You gotta be ready to walk a street and get the door slammed in your face. Now, if you're in great shape, it's gonna give you a lot of discipline to be able to handle that. But also, you better not be insecure. So I think there's some translation, but I think there's a little depth to that as well.
But would you agree that people who do go to the gym all the time, like gym rats, they have amazing work ethics? Do you see that?
No,
because
I do.
I mean, do you see it as a trend almost? Because and I don't push people to exercise. If you don't want to exercise, it's fine. But it just tells me something about your lifestyle, how you wake up every morning, what's important to you. You said best, when you're sick, there's only one thing you want. And I see so many guys, it's the first thing that goes off. Like when you get married, you get busy, it's the first thing you stop doing. It's like never stop exercising. And it helps. And I see a lot of successful people with it. It just builds that habit. What do you think about Arnold?
Yeah. So I really want to point on this because I'm going to take it one step further. It's okay, Dimitri, talk a little bit about something I went through. It's okay. The reason that bodybuilding became such a great thing for me, and I think why it translates so well when it comes to work ethic, is it forces you to give up something you probably want to do. Everybody who goes to the gym, they don't usually want to be there. They'd be doing something else. Maybe they want to go out with their friends, or they want to relax after work. They don't want to get up at 5:30 in the morning, but they do it. They have the discipline to do something that other people are not willing to do. And so I think that is always going to translate well into whatever job or whatever career you want to go into. Those kind of people, if we took one of your conferences and you were to stand up and you were to say, hey, everybody, I want you right there in the front to stand up, and I want you to look around this room and tell me everybody in this room who you think works out for more than 5 days a week. They could probably do a pretty damn good job because it shows. And that kind of discipline shows not only physically, but it begins to build this mental strength as well that a person is able to take into their job, into their career. Arnold had that more than anybody else did. I mean, his body was good, but his mental game was unbelievable.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you can see how it translates his events, Arnold Classics, everything. Like you see him on the camera, you see him running for offices and stuff. You see that, like when he speaks, he just it's mentality more than anything.
Yes.
I just love it so much.
I do too. And you see it now, even the newer bodybuilding, if people have gotten a chance, Phil Heath, what a mind on the guy. I mean, just an absolute, when you look at some of these guys, you think, it's just muscle with no brain. These guys at the very top level, they're doing things up here. It's between the ears that separates the people that are good from those that are great.
Is the steroids cheating?
No, not in that sport because everybody is doing it. If it was a tested sport, which you have tested bodybuilding sports, then yeah, it's cheating at that point. But those have become you have to take lie detectors now. There's all sorts of stuff to be able to prevent steroids from entering into that. I took steroids. I took them for 10 years. And I don't shy away from that. And if there's people out there that are struggling with that, I'll talk to anybody about that.
Talk to me about it.
Please.
Just explain the steroids, what it did to you, how to be careful and everything.
Yeah. So when you decide you're going to do steroids, I tell everyone it's a decision. You're either going to date it or you're going to marry it. And you need to make that decision real quick when it comes to steroids. Because the longer that you take something, you're now married with kids. You're locked into that steroid. And the reason is because our bodies are not meant to function with a synthetic drug. And so when you take this stuff, your body begins not to be able to function without it, at least at an optimal level. When I was hard into bodybuilding, there were times where I'd have 12 supplements into my body.
Wow.
And because of that, what I decided, my body began not to form testosterone on its own. And so even today, I take testosterone to make sure that I can function, have the energy that I want, and that passion that I want for life. And if your physical appearance is important enough to you, if you're out there, you're good. Take that risk, do it, with the understanding that you're married to that now. And the older you get, the quicker you got to marry it, because your body's going to get used to it even quicker.
Who was your idols? Who did you follow, like, in the bodybuilding world?
Yeah, so Jay Cutler was the guy that I really liked because he was great at YouTube. That's, you're talking about content. I remember going to the gym when I was in college, and I put on a Jay Cutler with, like, I don't know, Nirvana had the background music, or like Godsmack, and he'd just be lifting and rowing. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go lift and get big now. And I would just watch him. And I was so naive, though, because I didn't understand steroids in my mid-20s, or not mid, but early 20s. And I thought, man, this guy is great. He's just taking protein bars and eating right, and look how big this guy is. I didn't understand how much was going on behind the scenes at that level, and I wish that I would have. I also wish that when I was in my mid-20s, I would have realized how much harm I was doing to my body in the long term, because I would have made better choices rather than just trying to go after that trophy. I think the people out there, we all are struggling with something, our own vice, as I say. For me, my vice was cocaine. That was big to me. And the reason I continue to be involved with the gym is because it keeps me from doing that. You know, when I have to go to the gym at 7:30, 8 o'clock every night, which is a time I purposely choose every night to do that, it's so I don't go out and do something stupid. I stay away from my vice.
Wow.
And I think that what people would be better off to do is be real with yourself about what your vice is physically. If it's drinking, if it's drugs, that's what bodybuilding, that's what the gym can turn around for you. It can focus you on your body, and it can change your lifestyle. Not just your body, but you can be focused on doing something productive rather than being at the bar at 8 o'clock. For me, that's what it did. If there's anything I can thank bodybuilding for, and the discipline there, it's for saying, okay, Pat, you can't do both. This isn't going to work. Your body is withering away. It was in my early 30s. You're not where you need to be. I'm going to focus on this, put all my energy there, and then that won't allow me to even feed this wolf over here. That's not what it's going to be. So I know we're crushed on time, but
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I love this talk. I love this talk. But you also have to be careful. One thing I want to add, I recently read an article about CrossFit sport, and the side effect of being too much into the sport is you're giving yourself permission to do something. Like CrossFiters, they drink a little bit too much, and the reason is because you work out. And I didn't even realize it didn't hit me, and I caught myself doing it because I work out every day, right? And then the first thought, that negative thought that will come to you is, I can have a drink, I can afford it. Mm-hmm. And then if you start doing it because you're so active, you're burning it. That's what you think. Mm-hmm. And then before you know it, you drink every day and you become alcoholic. Yeah, you're burning it. It's not showing. But the mentality is like, I can do it because you give yourself permission, almost like as a reward. It's also a little bit, so you have to be careful with that too. Mm-hmm. Guys, I'm going to put Patrick's information in comments and description below. Go check him out. Great accounts. He's growing super fast. He's trending. I wish I could speak like he does and have those muscles, but it's okay. I'm content. I'm happy where I am. Go give him a sub. Comment below if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks.
That's awesome, man.